Let's talk about product roadmaps. You know, building one is a lot like cooking. And you'd never use a cake recipe to try and bake a pizza, right? I mean, it seems super obvious, but we do this all the time with our roadmaps. We grab the wrong recipe, and then we're shocked when it just doesn't work out.
So why does this keep happening? Why do so many roadmaps just feel off? Well, the reason is pretty simple. We just copy-paste. We see a slick roadmap from some hot new tech company, and we try to force it onto our own business, not stopping to think that we're playing two completely different games. The way they make money and create value is different, so it just makes sense that roadmaps have to be different too.
And this gets us to the one big secret of a successful roadmap. And listen, it's not about the tool you use. It really doesn't matter if you're on Jira, Trello, or just a simple spreadsheet. The secret is all about aligning your roadmap with how your specific business actually creates value. It's about matching your plan to your purpose.
Okay, before we go any further, let's just clear something up right now. A roadmap is not a glorified to-do list. It is a strategic document. Its number one job is to communicate the why. Why are we building this particular thing? And why are we building it now? It's all about setting a clear direction, not just listing out a bunch of tasks.
This quote right here really just nails it. Roadmaps are shaped less by the tool you use and more by how your business creates value. Seriously, if you only take one thing away from this explainer, let it be this. This is the absolute key to building a roadmap that actually works for you.
All right, to really see this idea in action, let's get practical. We're going to look at three totally different businesses: an e-commerce store, a SaaS company, and a service-based business. And you'll see how the unique way each one creates value completely changes what their roadmap looks like.
First up, e-commerce. Think of the e-commerce roadmap as a sprinter. It is all about speed, hitting cycles, and of course, driving revenue. Its entire world revolves around seasons, big sales events, and managing inventory. The whole plan is built around the natural rhythm of buying and selling. So the priorities here? They're all about sales. Conversion optimization, that's just about turning more visitors into buyers. Think A/B testing your checkout flow. Customer retention is all about getting those buyers to come back for more. Merchandising and campaigns, that's gearing up for huge events like Black Friday. And operations is about making sure that when someone finally clicks buy, their stuff actually gets to them smoothly. You see the theme? For e-commerce, the roadmap exists to serve the sales cycle.
And because it is all about those sales cycles, the most common format you'll see is a quarterly plan. It just lines up perfectly with holidays, seasons, and inventory planning. You know, during the busy season, it's all hands on deck for execution. And the off-season, you get a little more breathing room to experiment.
Okay, now for our second model, software as a service, or what we all call SaaS. Now, if e-commerce is our sprinter, then SaaS is the explorer. It's all about learning, adapting, and discovering what works. The priorities here are totally driven by user feedback, by data, and that constant push to make the product better and better.
The focus here is a whole different ballgame. User activation is all about getting new users to that aha moment as fast as possible. Feature adoption is about encouraging your existing users to try out all the cool new stuff you're building. And, of course, the platform has to be rock-solid reliable and ready to handle more and more users. The big takeaway for SaaS? The roadmap serves the user's journey inside the product.
And that is why you so often see a now, next, later format for SaaS roadmaps. It gives the team a clear direction without locking them into rigid, specific dates. That flexibility is absolutely crucial because you're always learning from your users, and you need to be able to pivot and adapt really quickly.
All right, our final model is the service business. For this one, think of the roadmap as an architect. It's not really about building a bunch of digital features. It's about building a stronger, more efficient business from the ground up. The focus here is on improving processes and expanding what the business is even capable of doing.
So what are the priorities here? You're looking at things like operational maturity, which is really just a fancy way of saying, let's make sure everyone does things the same way so we get consistent results. Team enablement is about giving your people the right training and tools to succeed. And service expansion is all about offering new services or moving into new markets. The key idea for a service business, the roadmap is there to serve the business's capabilities.
And this is why you need a totally different format. You're not measuring progress by how many features you ship out the door, but by what your business can now do that it couldn't do before. So a milestone-based roadmap makes perfect sense. You track progress with these big, tangible goals like process optimization complete or new offering launched. It's all about real improvements to the business itself.
Okay, so we've looked at all three models. Now let's put them side by side for a little showdown. This is where the differences really pop, and it all starts to click.
Just look at this. E-commerce is all about revenue cycles. SaaS is obsessed with product evolution. And a service business? It's focused on its own capabilities. That one core difference changes everything else. The timeline, the key themes, the whole shebang. This is exactly why you can't just copy and paste a roadmap. You have to start with what truly drives your business.
So, the big question is, how do you actually apply this to your own business? How do you build the right roadmap for you? Well, here's a simple 3-step action plan to get you started.
First, you have to define what success looks like. What's the most important thing for your business to achieve right now? Let that be your North Star. Second, think about your team. If you've got a small team, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. And third, please remember that roadmaps are not permanent. They need to change. What works for you today might not work next year, so you have to be ready to adapt.
And hey, before we wrap up, just a quick friendly warning. You have to avoid these common traps. Don't let your roadmap turn into a glorified to-do list. Don't treat it like a promise that's set in stone. It's a plan, and plans are meant to change. Don't build it all by yourself in a dark room. And finally, please, don't choose a format just because it's trendy or looks cool. Choose the one that actually fits your reality.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Does your current roadmap truly communicate your priorities, or does it just document the work you're doing? The answer to that will tell you if you're using the right recipe. Thanks for tuning in.